Hey, it's Dan Moralez, and this is Homebuyer Radio. This is episode number 128. So this week, what I want to talk about is and I've talked about this before, it's just the expertise and knowledge of the people you work with. I recently, in the course of the last week, had two clients who started this process with their local credit union. And, I'm not going to knock on any specific institution or bank or credit union. I'm just going to say that, a lot of times people think that, hey, I bank with XYZ, and that's, where I do my business. So I'm just going to go there for my mortgage. And what happens a lot of times is when you deal with your local bank and or credit union, a lot of times you're not dealing with the most highly skilled or competent person that's available in the marketplace. Now, people could say, hey, Dan, you work for a bank. Is that the case? I work for a mortgage bank that, we are a full service bank, but we specialize in residential mortgages. Okay. So we don't write credit cards or car loans or stuff like that. We are I like to almost say a boutique mortgage bank. So that's what we do. And we do it really well. Now, I'm not knocking on bankers in general as much as I'm saying that a lot of times, you can just blindly go to your local bank and assume that the person that works there, is competent or highly skilled in what they're doing, and they're not. The expertise of your loan officer can and oftentimes will either save you thousands of dollars or it will cost you thousands of dollars because they don't know what they don't know. I just had two transactions. One where a client was being forced into an FHA mortgage when he really shouldn't have been. It was one where they totally didn't understand the details of this gentleman's transaction. And what happened was they assumed different things that were not accurate. And they were forcing this guy into an FHA transaction when, in all honesty, he could have been done as a conventional mortgage. And that's really what we did, is we put him into a conventional mortgage, got him across the finish line, much more favorable terms, just because we took the time to really understand the client's needs and to properly structure his loan in a way where, he was able to get across the finish line. Now, in this client's case, it saved him thousands of dollars because he was a well-qualified conventional borrower. The way that loan was structured by the local credit union was the absolute worst way that you could have put that together. So it was definitely not the best way to do it. Second client had a history of receiving some alimony. She's newly divorced, history of receiving some alimony. The problem was the lender didn't understand how she was receiving her alimony, and told her she didn't meet certain requirements that Fannie Mae has as part of the mortgage process, when in fact she did. They just didn't take the time to really understand her overall situation. I see stuff like this time and time again. I always tell folks I like to think of myself as almost the garbage man, right? Because I get to come in, and clean up a mess that was started by somebody else because they didn't know what they didn't know. They didn't know how to properly structure the transaction and how to take care of the client. Unfortunately, in some cases, I'm positive that there are folks who don't get to me and they end up having this experience where they either get turned down for a loan when, in all honesty, they could have bought a house, or they end up with a mortgage structure that is just one that is really unfavorable to them when it's all said and done. So the expertise of the person you work with, it really does matter. I think, a lot of times people don't place too much importance in that. And I would dare say that if you're going in for brain surgery, you would place some importance on the expertise of the person that's going to, be operating on you, if you will. Okay. So, well, hey, Dan, that's brain surgery. It's not, getting a mortgage is a different process, or buying a house is a different process than that. Yeah, you're right. It is, because you get to pay for that process every month. You get to pay for the mistakes or the lack of knowledge of the team you have working for you every month, for 30 years or 15 years or whatever it is that you decide to get a mortgage for. So those things do matter, guys. Now if it doesn't matter to you, then, why are you even listening to this podcast, right? You're listening to this podcast because you want to better understand the process. You want to educate yourself. You want to know that you're making a good, wise, quality decision when it comes to getting a mortgage and buying a house. And that's why you listen to this podcast. And that's why why we do this podcast, because I do believe that clients that are educated and well-informed make for the best clients, and they do have the best overall experience when it's all said and done. So, just, pay attention, right? So how do you know, right? How do you know if somebody has experience and or knowledge? One good way to know would be to go through and actually look, for reviews for that specific loan officer. I'd ask the loan officer for reviews specifically for them that show that they have a proven track record of reviews over a number of years, not just reviews over a small period of time, right? So I would look at that. I look at their NMLS number to see how long they've been in the business. And there's some companies, especially some large national online lenders, who have representatives that have only been in the business for all of a couple of months, and they just don't have the knowledge or expertise to be able to properly serve you when it's all said and done. So again, I'm not trying to knock your local bank credit union, not trying to knock online lenders. I'm just trying to encourage you to make sure that you get to somebody who knows what they're doing. Now, you can save yourself a lot of hassle and just come to me directly, right? I lend in all 50 states, or darn near all 50 states. Most products are available in most states. We'd love to have the opportunity to help you and to get you across the finish line. We have a growing, list of clients throughout the country, more and more listeners that are connecting with us, and we're having the opportunity to help them get across the finish line and take good care of them. We'd love to have the opportunity to do that with you, okay? Hey, my name is Dan Moralez. I go by Dan, America's Mortgage Man. You can reach me at 616-931-4629. My NMLS number is 709729. And, of course, Northpointe Bank is an equal housing lender.